What up, what up, what up, New York Giant Nation? It is your boy, Mac the Giants fan. And y'all know what time it is. This is the True Blue Aftermath, the 6-1 edition. Let's go, baby.
You want to be great, you got to work at it, right?
I'm on one today. It's a great day to be great, bro. Remember that. It's a great day to be great. Let's go out here. Let's get a win. Let's focus on the details, man.
And yes, indeedy, here we are, New York Football Giant Nation. Here we are once again, the 6-1 New York Football Giants. We don't make it easy, but we get it done each and every week. The fourth quarter, we own the fourth quarter each and every week of this season, except for the week 3 loss to the Cowboys, obviously. This team right here is unbelievable. 4-game win streak, man. Let's get it, man. Yo, this team right here, man, they just, we get to the fourth quarter, we keep it close, forget about it. Forget about it. This team right here, it's not going to make it easy. They make it a little bit painful at times watching these like, damn, why can't we just put a squad away? But you know what? We still keep getting the job done. Still keep getting the job done, and you can't ask for more. We sitting here now 6-1, and shame on you making us underdogs to the 2-4 Jacksonville, the now 2-5 Jacksonville Jaguars. Sure, it might not have been pretty, but it was damn sure effective. Damn sure effective. Let me talk about number 8, man. Let's talk about number 8, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. 19 of 30, 202 yards and a touchdown pass. Oh, but wait, there's more. 11 carries, 107 yards, and another touchdown on the ground. Daniel Jones. Those are grown man stats. Those are grown man statistics right there. That's what I'm talking about. Because you definitely was a big, major part of what held this team together today. For sure. Showing some real emotion out there. Some of you receivers letting you down. You let them have it. You let them know a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. That's that maturity. You take them steps. Get it, baby. What's going on, Almighty Finesse? What's going on, Randy? Thanks for stopping in, good brothers. Yes, Almighty. Let's go, baby. We 6-1. 6-1. What they know about us right now, man? What they know about us? Tell them, man. We the New York Football Giants, bro. We gonna get everybody gonna get our best shot. Had a couple key injuries again today, man. Couple big key injuries, unfortunately. You know, Daniel Bellinger, waiting to hear what's going on with him in the situation with his eye. Like he took a very, very hard poke to the eye. Let's hope it's not anything too terribly serious, but at the same time, I had to take the young man to the hospital, so we're going to have to wait and find out. Maybe we'll hear a little bit more tomorrow, I would assume. Evan Neal, same deal, man. Don't know what's going on, man. He went down again also with a knee injury. What's going on, Jeff?
I almost had a friggin' heart attack on that stream when we were doing the game.
No.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
My heart is still, beating fast from that. It's – I love the win, but I'm not 100% thrilled with everything that happened in this game, but I will take the win regardless. We are 6-1 on the season. It's 6-1.
You take the dub because we got the dub, so we definitely, you're going to take it regardless. But like you said, I'm also not as satisfied from one standpoint. Like I feel like we got a little bit of offensive effort, even though we only still turned out 23 points. I mean, what Daniel Jones did today, man, that young man, the boy became a man a bit today, man. His numbers, like I said, he had grown man numbers today.
He did.
And Saquon Barkley, once again, turned it on when he needed him most, man.
Yep.
Like I said, that fourth quarter imposed his will on that Jacksonville Jaguars defense, man. And so here, speaking of defense, though, the New York Giants defense wasn't really satisfied with what I saw most of the day, man. Trevor Lawrence, it was just made way too easy for him. What's going on, Coach? Man, it was just I'll put it in the chat for you, Coach. But
Mac, I want to talk. Can we talk about the refs in this game real quick? Because I swear to freaking God, they need to start doing something with these goddamn refs and these calls. I mean, some of the calls in this game both ways were bad. These refs were horrendous. How bad they were. Horrendous. Especially some of the bogus calls they called against the Giants, too. Jacksonville had some bad calls as well. I have to be real. They had some bad goals that went against them as well. But, I mean, the refereeing in this game was beyond atrocious. It was atrocious. And the Giants' defense was not great. It wasn't. It was not good at all. They had a this is the first time this defense looked bad in this game.
Yeah, it was rough. It was definitely a rough performance for this defense most of the way, man. What's going on, Nate? Good to see you, man. 6-1, man. We'll still, like you said, obviously we still take the 6-1 regardless. But this defense, man, it was looking really shaky. Trevor Lawrence barely got touched in this game. We started getting to him a little bit late, obviously in the fourth quarter. Finally started getting to him a little bit, but he barely got touched most of the way. He was just sitting back there, just scanning the field, clean pocket, and finding his guys, man, most of the time, man. So we had some breaks, man, like some of their penalties. That fumble by Etienne.
That was the biggest play of the game.
Was big, yeah. That was big right there. This team, man. This New York Giant team, I tell you, man, ain't easy on the heart, man. Sometimes, boy, they make it, they're making it a little too close for comfort for me some of these times, man. What's going on, Coach?
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
Good. How are you?
We are good, man. We 6-1, man. So we're still good. And like I said, I'll take it however they come, man. But
I know it was tough. It was heart-wrenching, frustrating, especially like Jeff said, the referees. I mean, the amount of penalties, it took away from
21 on the game.
Exactly. It took away from the flow of the game. As a fan, you're sitting there and, it's literally, I'm literally every play now looking for that yellow marker. And I don't like looking at, I don't like watching the game like that. I can't. It takes away from the excitement. I don't care if it's ugly, whatever. But when you start doing that, and like Jeff said, some of those penalties, I mean, the one on Dexter Lawrence,
that was terrible.
I get it. I understand he pulled him down, but he was falling and he just reached up and grabbed, not intentionally. That's something you just, you know what? Common sense says that was the intent. And if anything, he pulled him down on top of him.
Yeah.
The one on Leo, because of the letter of the rule, you can't come down on top of him with your shoulder. I hate it.
I know. I hate that rule.
What do you want a guy to do, man? Like, you can't just completely stop.
I'm 350 pounds, 340 pounds. I know that is hard to do. And I've played that at that size. There's no way in hell I could stop if I'm going down and there's a guy underneath me, and your body turns and your shoulder. It's just like so hard.
Yeah. What's it going to be? Matthias Kiwanuka to play? Decide he's going to go up and try to sack him and then pull back like Kiwanuka did against Tennessee years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a nice win, but it's just.
It feels a little bit like a loss. It feels
what do you guys think about
a loss.
The play of Daniel Jones today?
Oh, he was brilliant.
Yes. I mean, anybody who complains about him or whatever, I mean, he didn't have monster passing stats, but he had over 300 yards combined between rushing and passing. Yep. And he controlled the offense. And, I mean, his runs, Jeff will tell you, there was one I said he gave it to Barkley. I said, you should have kept it. The lane was right there.
Yep.
Because the ends were just crashing. They weren't coming for him. And I just said, run it, and he gave it to Barkley, and it was just. But
How about that
overall,
brilliant play call by Mike Kafka, where he pretty much had the entire defense going to the right side, and then Jones just running out to the left, wide open field for that first down. That was a brilliant play call. Jones was great. It'd be
How
nice
about
if his
that one
wide
play?
receivers actually catch the goddamn ball.
The turf
Yeah,
monster
Turf
got him a
Monster
little
got
bit
him
on that one play, on a little bit again, man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's the only thing that's slowing down, DJ, is the turf. The turf's the only
I
thing
mean,
that
it
can
was
slow
still
down
a
good
big
day.
play. It could have been even bigger, but at the same time, definitely not gonna complain about that. But it was.
It'd be nice if his wide receivers could actually catch the goddamn ball.
Marcus
Yeah.
Johnson had a couple of big drops. Marcus
Yeah.
Johnson had a couple
That
of big
4th and
drops
2.
today.
Yeah, that
Slayton
4th and
dropped,
2.
I think, a ball. Wandale had a drop. They had drops all over the place. I mean, Slayton almost dropped that ball in the end zone. He had to double clutch it. Thank God he caught it. I mean,
That 4th and 2, like you said, Marcus Johnson on that 4th and 2. If he just
that
catches
pissed me
it, that's at the very least it's a first down.
Exactly,
Ran that down to fight your
yeah.
way in the end zone, but it was the first down, a fresh set of downs right there.
That was the first time I saw Jones get pissed too. He was visibly angry after he dropped that pass, which I would
That's
be
what I said.
too.
He showed some emotion. He showed
I'm glad
some
he did.
emotion today, and it was good to see, man. Like that's what a leader does.
Exactly. I'm glad he did.
You know, he put it right where it had to be. He did what he had to do, man. And guys got to start making plays, man. Like I said, it's team, man. Still getting the job done, finding ways to get it done. Like I said, I just believe that's just absolute
keep losing
superior
players
coaching.
too.
Superior coaching, but these injuries, they're once again starting to pile up, man.
I mean, the Daniel Bellinger one was scary. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he got poked. It said an eye injury.
It was a hard poke to the eye too. But
Yeah,
when he showed the replay, it was like it was rough. That was rough. It's definitely scary. So
I think it was a scratch cornea.
Man, I don't know, but they had to go.
I mean, there was blood drawn, so I mean, you got to think it's not good. And the Evan Neal one, oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
I hope to God it's not severe.
He wasn't moving too well either.
That's what makes this win even more. What's the word?
And Bredesen too.
Satisfying because Azudu and what's his name Phillips, they came in and it was rough at the start, but at the end, as the game went on, you really didn't hear any major issues. I mean, Azudu, several pulls when they were in that tight eye, the double tights, and Myrick was bouncing, and then Azudu on power pulled, trapped, opened up the lane. That one long Barkley run where he went out of bounds instead of staying in. But Azudu was there and Myrick was there opening up those lanes. So, those guys stepped up too. So, and that's it's frustrating, all the injuries, but it's rewarding knowing that, our reserves are starting to step up. We can count on them a little bit, and hopefully they can develop into something more besides just, filling bodies.
This coaching staff is freaking brilliant. This coaching staff is absolutely freaking brilliant. I mean, I swear what they're doing with the amount of talent they have on this roster is just absolutely amazing. I mean, this coaching staff, I cannot praise this coaching staff anymore for what they're doing with a team that is not that talented, and they're getting all of this out of this team. It's remarkable.
They're maximized. They're getting absolutely everything, basically.
Exactly. I mean, I was frustrated. Jeff will tell you, I was frustrated in the first half with the defensive play calling. I mean, it was, what are we doing? These guys, especially in zone, that's where Trevor Lawrence really was killing us. I was surprised we didn't put as much pressure in the beginning. I don't know if it's because O'Shane wasn't there. Jeff, you made that good point early. Maybe it is because of that, but it was. It was frustrating that first half, seeing Jacksonville move up and down the field like that. Is that a signal to the rest of the teams in the league that that's how you attack us? Because I don't want to see that. I definitely don't want to see that.
They made it look. He was making it look pretty easy at times, man. And we got another pretty solid offense next week in Seattle. So we got head over there too, man. Seattle's been getting the job done, especially offensively, making big plays. Geno Smith. And those guys, Tyler Lockett has been coming up big for the last couple of weeks for those guys, man. So it's going to be a test next week.
It's just this win. It feels a little deflated. It's a great win, but it feels a little bit deflating because in some ways Jacksonville self-destructed at the end of that game. I mean, their clock management was horrendous. They had bad penalties. That team pretty much self-destructed, and they're another team that gave us a chance to come back in the game, and we took advantage of it again. Another team that gave us a chance.
That's the story of the Giants season this year. It's like, we're just causing these teams to absolutely self-destruct. Like, I knew we scored that touchdown. Defense got the ball back for us, and then we go out there and Saquon Barkley just imposed his will on that Jacksonville Jaguars defense. Just absolutely, they knew what we were doing, and they just couldn't stop it. And that's been the story of the New York Giants season so far.
We're resilient as hell, and this is the third week in a row in a way we had no business winning this game, and we still were able to come back in this game and pull off the victory. That just shows the incredible fortitude of this team. That shows the incredible guts and grit of this football team. It shows the leadership coming through, the coaching. I mean, that just shows everything that defines the New York Giants in 2022, that everything and the adversity going against injuries, and we're still getting the job done because of the depth on this team, the way they're playing right now. So
this team has bought in on everything these coaches are preaching. Like, we are getting ready to head to Week 8, and the New York Giants only have one loss
the
season.
It's crazy.
We
have the best record in the NFC. I think we have the best record in the NFC.
Well, not the Eagles. The Eagles
I guess
are
that's true.
still.
I guess
zero in the
we have the same amount of wins as them.
Ahead.
Yeah. And Dallas won again today, so they're right behind us again. I mean, geez. But Mac, what did you think? Like, what were some of the things that you took out of this game today? Like some of the things you liked and some of the things you disliked.
Well, once again, I obviously like just the resiliency late in the game to be able to shake off everything that's gone wrong with this football game and still focus and get the job done down the stretch, pull together, man, and get another big win. But obviously, I'm just disappointed with the defensive effort I saw most of the way, man. It just wasn't like the defense wasn't working. It wasn't clicking. I didn't see the effort I've been seeing this whole season, basically. Yep. It was just, it looked like they took the day off for some reason. Like, it was just, Trevor Lawrence was just sitting back there just la-di-da-di-da, and just nobody was even getting near him. Nobody was even getting close to him. So it was, I'm upset that we saw. But at the same time, they once again pulled together when it mattered most and made some plays down the stretch. So,
Wow. We had 6 pass defenses today on Lawrence.
This Fabian Morneau kid is doing a great job. I mean, I don't know where they found Morneau, but this kid has come in and he's done an excellent job on the outside for us. He's been great.
Like a blanket.
He's playing better than Adoree Jackson right now, the way he's playing. I mean, Morneau has been great on the field.
Look, they've both been pretty great right now. Both been really good, playing really good. And earlier, and that's another thing, a testament. This secondary, with the lack of a pass rush, especially earlier in the game, secondary really held it together, man. And
safety play's been great.
And they didn't give up. They didn't give up the killer plays back there. They gave up a couple big plays, but not the killer plays.
Yeah, Dory had 7 tackles. 7. Monroe had 7. Julian Love had 9. Jalen Smith 4. Tate Crowder 6.
Yeah, with that lack of pass rush, that secondary had a lot of pressure on it today, and
they did.
I feel like they overall did respond pretty well.
They were getting attached in the middle, though.
The pass rush, the only one I noticed that was getting a consistent pass rush, though, was Tibbs.
Yeah.
I mean, it did seem like, he was back there quite often. It's just that he didn't get any hits. That's the thing that if you get the pressure, fine. But if the quarterback steps up and he's not distracted or he's not put in any type of a conflict, then your pressure becomes minimized. And I think what it is Tibbs has to work on disengaging, because a lot of times he's bull rushing. So, but if he learns how to disengage or knock hands off of him, I think he'll be able to squeeze down and secure some sacks. But he was there. What's his name? Jihad Ward was he was marginal, and Timon Fox had a couple of good pressures and good hits. He did.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all that also didn't come until late in the game. Also, the first half, was null and void. They just like
This team's
Jacksonville.
got to stop getting off to such slow starts. I mean, the
Yes.
Giants
Well, they
always seem
got
to
off
come
to a
sluggish.
fast start with that touchdown on the first
Yes.
opening drive, and then
Yes.
it was just like, what happened after that?
Exactly.
Like,
They
That's
went to a
all.
lull period.
And that's the thing. I mean, you went into the half ahead. What was it, 13-11? But
Yeah.
it's we needed to stop Jacksonville more than that. So I mean, on the same token, they only scored 6 points in the second half. So we have
Yep,
to,
that touchdown.
we have to respect that. But I'm with you. We want more explosive and exciting in the first half because
Yeah.
it did kind of it did become dull to the average fan. To me, I could see the chess pieces.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I
Sauce
agree.
Gardner's got 9 passes defended, the tied for first in the NFL.
Wow.
Wow.
And he's like 39.7% completion percentage against Sauce.
Oh
This
boy.
kid-
Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
This kid is really good.
He's gonna be their new Revis Island.
Looking like it.
Man.
Looking like
Let me
it. This
see.
kid looks elite.
Texans are up on the Raiders 10-3. Seahawks on the Chargers 14-0. Oh boy, that's going to be tough
Yeah.
next week.
That's what I said. The Seahawks ain't playing, man.
Yeah.
No, Seahawks are going to be tough.
Seattle is not playing, man.
And they looked at our game tape and they saw we were getting exposed a little bit over the middle in some of those screen plays. So Seattle's going to look at that and they're going to try to use that screen game against us easily to try to beat us.
Geno Smith 5 for 9, 76 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception already. Let me see.
How do you guys think Darnay Holmes played? Because he's been the weak link in that secondary.
Darnay was okay. I mean, could he have done more? I mean, I want to look at the game tape to really break down more. But I mean, yeah, there were times I was like you. He's getting beat. But then when the replay, it didn't look like it. But again, I'd have to see it a little bit more to get a full picture.
I only really
Here goes McCaffrey.
noticed too much with that one. One nice play he made earlier, late in that game. When he was coming on that blitz, and they kind of broke up
They
that
couldn't
screen.
pick up that was going to be a screen to McCaffrey. Come on, man. I read that right away. Sorry.
Well, what are the things that you didn't like in the game, Mac? Like you wish that you were a little frustrated by?
Well, I was, like I said, frustrated with the defense early in the game. I was definitely just frustrated with that.
Ooh.
And just the fact that when we came out, we got that, like I said, we got that first touchdown on the opening drive, and then we couldn't continue to just roll with that momentum and keep it going, and just kind of, I wanted to really come out and punish the Jaguars today. I really wanted to make an example of these guys. At the same time, the win is the win, regardless. But I really wanted to see us make an example of somebody. So I'm still waiting for that game for the New York Giants as well this season. But at the same time, given all the circumstances, like I said, this team with everything that's going on with everything with this team this year, I look back, like I said, and we all know past regimes, not to keep bringing it up, we know this team would not be the same under some of the past regimes the last couple of years. So it's still encouraging to see how this football team can just rally around each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Continue to find ways to get the job done. And that crowd, I don't know if y'all noticed late in that game, that crowd turned into a New York Giant crowd. That turned into like a New York Giant home game late in that game. Yeah. It felt like we were up in MetLife.
That's a good thing to see this time, instead of in the past of opposing teams taking over our stadium. So
fans are buying in. It only takes, when your team starts winning, fans are going to buy in. Even those people that are the quote-unquote bandwagon Giants fans, they're going to buy in when they see those W's stacked up. That's exactly what's happening right now. This team is making the fans believe the play they're putting out there on the football field. So that's the one thing I love about it. I'm just going to be looking at the injury report tomorrow. I really want to know what's going on. What?
I'm sorry. I'm reading Lawrence Tynes. Lawrence Tynes tweeted, "Hey, OBJ, I'll send the plane. Where's the pickup airport?"
We do need wide receiver help right now. So, I mean, you don't think OBJ's looking at it?
We do need some consistent hands out there. We need some consistent hands out there, man.
Well, remember, OBJ.
Don't worry, we got the stiff and we got Hammy coming back.
Yeah, but do we have honestly though? All jokes aside, would we have the money to afford him? Because I think we're what
I
three
don't think
million,
so.
2 million,
No.
and he's
I
going to
don't
want
think
more than
so.
that. Yeah, he's going to
Yeah.
definitely want more than that. So
Yeah. Unless he really wants to be a Giant again, he's willing to
I
take
mean,
less to pop
if
on with the Giants.
if Saquon is convincing him, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be
Yeah.
mad
They
at it.
are boys. They are boys, and him and Shep are boys, so you never know.
Yeah, I
Never
know.
know.
Well,
And how much of a redemption story would it be? I mean, LC's here. Imagine they bring OBJ back.
Mm, I mean, I get it. I'm not going to be mad at it as long as it's affordable. I can't lie. If it's something that's, come on, man, you're killing the salary cap. Yeah, right now it says Spotrac says we're at 3,427,000.
Yeah,
oh shoot.
because of you know whose contract.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
something else to bring up from this game today too. Given how that last offensive drive for Jacksonville went, where they got all the way down the field,
Oh yes.
Mm.
how big was that field goal? Graham Gano powering that field goal through the uprights
Yes.
that
That
got
was huge.
Yes.
championship.
That was
Mm-hmm.
huge.
Like
Mm-hmm.
how big was that?
That was
That was
big.
that was massive. So I mean, it pushed it to another. It pushed it to where we needed, but we needed the defense to step up, and it just seemed like every time we made a stop, there was a penalty on that drive. I mean, Jeff was going crazy every time. He's like another penalty every time.
I couldn't
It was like
stand it.
felt
I
like it was
couldn't
like three,
stand it.
two, at least 2 or 3 penalties in a row.
Every
Like,
single
it
play
just
was
kept
just
coming
waiting
like
for the
every
yellow
play.
flag. Every player were waiting
Exactly.
for that stupid yellow flag to come out. It felt like every play. I'm like, it was just literally sitting there, like, okay, when's the next flag coming out? Oh, there it is. Who's the flag
Mm-hmm.
on this time? I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
How are you supposed to enjoy a football game when you have a friggin' flag coming out every single second? I mean, it takes away from the excitement of the football
Well,
game.
it,
It's
it sucks because I feel
ridiculous.
like a lot of it's at the expense of the defenses too. So it's
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
really that's what makes it even worse. It's like it's hard to like you learn how to play this game a certain way your whole life
Mm-hmm.
growing up, and to get to this level, and then it's like now all of a sudden you gotta almost kind of learn to play a different way,
Mm-hmm.
a less aggressive way, and that's just it's not what you're taught growing
Yeah.
up
Mm-hmm.
learning the game of football,
Exactly.
especially as a defender.
Exactly. I think the
Exactly.
three biggest plays of the game for the Giants was that 4th and 1 stop where they stopped Trevor Lawrence, who was trying to sneak up the middle. Big
That
stop
was
there for the
huge too.
Giants. The obviously the strip fumble by Xavier McKinney, recovered by Julian Love, and then like you said, Mac, that kick, the field goal kick by Graham Gano where he powered it over. And we all know if this was last year or years before, he would have missed it, but he was able to power it through the goalpost, and that
Don't
at least
forget.
gave us an opportunity because they would have kicked the field goal instead
Don't
if they missed that field goal.
don't forget the Barkley play where they ruled him out of bounds
Oh
instead of
yeah,
inbounds. Because if he's ruled out of inbounds, when they get the ball, it's only a few seconds left in the game, 20 seconds
Yeah,
or so.
yeah,
that's true.
So
yeah, pretty
that
much. Yeah.
that
And the
was
Marcus
big.
Johnson drop.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, I mean there were several in there where you know what. Yeah, we can. You could say we squeaked out with this win. I mean, Jacksonville, like Jeff, you were saying it the whole time. Jacksonville outplayed us.
They did.
It
I'm
just
gotta
seemed
be
like
real. They outplayed us.
They
they were
absolutely did.
outplaying us. So
They
you know,
self-destruct. We have to be. If you could be the biggest Giants fan out there and be like, "Well, no, we won the game. We were better." No, Jacksonville self-destructed in this game. They have penalty
mhm,
after penalty after penalty. They had bad play calling, bad clock management. They had a strip fumble when they were about to walk into the end zone. Let's be real. Jacksonville self-destructed, and that
as a
helped
coach,
us win. They gave us an opportunity, and we took advantage of it again.
as a
Period.
coach, one of the things that I've always stressed to guys that when I'm coaching them is two things: bad penalties. You can't have bad penalties
Mhm.
and turnovers. Those are the two
Yeah.
things more than anything that can hurt a team, especially if the turnovers come at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
So third down efficiency, we were 50%, they were 46%. TOP, we're 34, 10, they're 25, 50. We had one, it's only one sack in the whole game. Okay.
Yeah, I think they had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it. Average yards per play, they were seven yards even. We were 6.2. Here's the biggest difference. They had 142 yards rushing. We had 236 yards, almost 100 yards over them.
We beat
That's
him on the
big.
ground.
We had 200-yard rushers.
Yeah.
Jones and Barkley both.
We haven't had that since December 23rd, December 13th, 2010. That was the last time we had multiple two rushers with 100 yards plus. That's crazy. We're a running
You talk
team.
about self-inflicted wounds, like you said, with Jacksonville, with those penalties, man. It was that touchdown Daniel quarterback sneak down, Jones snuck into the end zone. Prior to that sneak, man, it was 3 consecutive penalties by Jacksonville Jaguars.
Or the biggest play, Mac, one of the biggest plays, when Jones threw that interception right to the defender and they got a penalty because the guy speared Jones in the face. That was a ridiculously bad play. They had the momentum right there.
And that penalty that did not just cause that interception. So
that was a bad play by Jones and the defender read it.
So that was a total bailout right there, man.
Exactly, and that goes into what I just said about penalties as a coach. I mean, when you do that, and certain penalties take away from the momentum of the game. So, just like you said there, I mean, certain plays, it just seems like the 3 in a row, it kept the momentum going for us as opposed to stopping us and either keeping us in the field to kick a field goal or, even getting a possible turnover. So, Jacksonville, for everything, Jeff kept saying it, Jacksonville has given us this game.
They gave us the game. They literally gave us the game, and I'm not even afraid to say that. That's why I'm a little bit not as crazy, because we got lucky. We got pretty lucky in this game because Jacksonville outplayed us in this game. And if it wasn't for bad penalties, clock management, besides our running game was great. Our running game was great, and clock management, like you said, their clock management at the end of the game was absolutely abysmal. How do you call a timeout in 30 seconds in the fourth quarter? 30 seconds when the fourth quarter starts, you call a timeout. You don't have your defense set. And they had 3 or 4 consecutive penalties by our goal line. 3 or 4 with 12 men on the field. That's bad coaching. That's bad clock management. I mean, that's why I'm not going nuts and crazy, because Jacksonville they lost this game more than we won it, as well as we ran the football. And I mean, I have to be real about it. People can hate me if I want, but we got lucky.
No, you're speaking a lot of truths, man. Jacksonville definitely played their part in handing this game over to the New York Giants, but at the same time, this Giant team also took what Jacksonville was giving them.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And that's also the difference,
Resiliency.
The teams in the past, Giant teams in the past, man, where teams give them opportunities and the Giants just would not refuse to capitalize. So
take
it however it comes, man.
No, Mac, that's not how to win.
Yeah,
6-1 is 6-1. Yeah,
good teams take advantage of situations like that. So you have to say that the Giants are a good team. You cannot sit here and say, they're bad, because like we're 6-1. We're 6-1, and you can't say, we've beaten some cupcakes or whatever the case may be. Green Bay and Baltimore. Well, Green Bay is tough.
People are going to say Green Bay
sucks.
Spiraling right now.
Green Bay is spiraling.
People are going to say that. That's not a great win. You beat Green Bay. They suck.
But still, I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers. That's the reason why. You have one of the all-time great quarterbacks in the league. So, that's my point in saying that the Giants are good. Even the Dallas game, for how much pressure they put on Daniel Jones, and the defense seemed like we were there. We only lost by one score.
It's not crediting Jacksonville. It's just being real and being honest that the Giants got a little lucky because Jacksonville made some bad plays out there. You have to be honest. You can't just be putting your giant pom-poms on all the time and be like, well, we're the reason why we fully won this game. No. You have to be honest. Yeah, it's both ways. We won the game by running the football, but it's also the fact that Jacksonville self-destructed on the field, and they helped us win this game. They gave us opportunities, and once again, we took advantage of it.
And that goes into being a good team. That's just the bottom line. People who continue to say that this is a bad team, you have to stop. Really.
Yeah.
You can't say that this is a bad teams are, first of all, are not well coached. A
Mhm.
bad team is
Agreed.
not going to be well coached. They're just not.
Exactly.
So that right there sets it up to win with the type of talent that is here per se. Let's be real. We don't have elite talent. Number one at the wide receiver skills.
Uh, Not at
Yeah.
all.
No.
Number two, think about this. Jacksonville was working to take away Saquon Barkley. They did everything they could to take him away. Daniel Jones took advantage of that, which also helped to pull them away from Saquon Barkley, who eventually got his yards. He got his yards, and he got
Yep.
yards after contact.
Yep.
And the line, even with guys stepping in and filling in, they stepped in and opened up lanes for Barkley to run through. So, I mean, yeah, everybody wish you had a Mahomes as a quarterback to pass for 400 yards, but I'll take this. A quarterback who's giving me 200 yards passing and over 100 yards rushing every game.
It's Lamar Jackson type numbers.
Exactly. That's Lamar Jackson's numbers, not talent,
Mhm.
numbers. So we'll take that.
I just love that people, keep saying Daniel Jones is not athletic. Daniel Jones is not that good. He can't run out of the pocket. Daniel Jones is one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the league. One of the best.
Mhm.
He knows how to scramble out of the pocket. He knows how to pick up yardages. Oh, apparently DK Metcalf was carted off with a knee injury.
I missed that, but
Just
Seattle is
broke.
still kicking ass.
I mean,
Oh
geez,
wow.
that's not good. DK's
17 to
out.
nothing.
Well, it's a break for us. Hate to say it's a
See,
break for us.
this is what I'm saying. People need to at least be honest. Quote Mr. Chicken, aka Cabernet Poppy. I gave up on DJ. I was ready to move on. He keeps proving me wrong every week, and I'm happy as hell about it.
Yep.
Give him his flowers. He deserves it.
There you go.
I mean, he's earning it, man. He's starting to earn
Hmm.
it, man, big time. Like I said, I'm curious to see today a difference in this game could have been with Daniel Jones if he had a legit number one wide receiver weapon out there. Would have been. I think Daniel Jones would have had a monster game. Like I mean,
Yeah.
he had a big day anyway. I feel
Hmm.
like, but he would have had a monster game had he had a legit number one weapon out there with some dependable hands that could make some plays, man. Because there was some plays left on his field, and I think a lot of them was more on that wide receiving core today, man. It was
Yeah.
it was tough to look at a couple of times, man.
Well,
Just, especially when you look around the league and you see, like I said, you see all the other guys like to Jacksonville. Receivers are
Hmm.
making plays for Trevor Lawrence
Hmm.
today. They were making plays for him out
Evan
there. So
Ingram, our old buddy Evan Ingram
Exactly.
made plays. Evan Ingram
I mean,
played
that
pretty
one
well in this
play,
game.
I mean, Zay Jones caught that one pass. He got absolutely rocked, but he still held on to that pass for his
Kirk
when
was
he
good
made
too.
that play for his receiver. Yeah, so
Christian Kirk was
that's a
good.
difference. And that's just the difference in the kind of receivers these other teams have and the kind of receivers the New York Giants
Well,
have.
Mac, you know what the
It,
thing is too? It's going to make Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney look better if this wide receiver core keeps playing better. You know it is. I hate saying it because they're going to look at that and be like, you know what? We're not out there right now. We're going to get our opportunities because this wide receiver core is not taking advantage of it. And
well,
they're
at
going to
this
come
point,
back eventually, get their chances.
I would fully expect to see both of those
Hmm.
guys back probably after the bye. So
Same.
I'm thinking at this point they need to come out and be ready to make some plays because
Yeah.
that's like the biggest thing missing right now with this
Yeah.
team is some receivers making some plays, man. And then losing Bellinger potentially, who knows what's the status on that? That's going to be big because he was one of those guys that was making plays in this passing game
Hmm.
for the
Yeah.
New York Giants. So we're going to miss that production if he's going to be out for any period of time. So we got when these guys get back out there, they got to come out there with a new attitude, ready to make some plays, man. I'm just I'm waiting. I'm curious to see if it can happen, but right now I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath either, based
Yeah,
off of
they can easily
what
get
we've
into the
been
good
seeing.
graces. They can get in the good graces at the fan base. I mean, we know we have a weakness at wide receiver, and we're waiting for see if our $72 million signing last year and our first round pick last year can get on the field after the bye and give us the type of production, even if it's not a whole lot, because we are a running team. Let's be real. We're not going to be slinging the ball all over the place. We're going to be running the football. But if those two guys can just go out there and give us some production at the wide receiver position to at least open things up more, to give those open lanes for DJ as well as Saquon Barkley, it's going to help the offense. So I want to see
That's
how
the key.
Wandell does more, and I'll give them a chance. I will be willing, and I'll be willing to give Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney a chance to go out there for the last 8-9 games of the season, to go out there and show that they could still get into the good graces of this Giants franchise. I'll give them the chance. They'll have half a season to get into our graces.
That's the key to this offense. You see the things Saquon Barkley is doing now. If you had a receiver out there that defenses had to respect, and they had to spread them out a little bit more, man, and make those running lanes even a little bit bigger for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
We just talking about a whole different ball game here.
We need an alpha. We need an alpha. Slayton and Robinson, they're betas. They're twos.
It's definitely that's what's missing from this offense, man. Right now, it just we need one of those guys. And
I agree.
might not happen this year because I don't see us making any kind of big splash moves, any trades. Obviously, just like you said, the whole cap situation just makes it kind of tough for us to make any kind of real serious moves. But it's just that's what's definitely missing, and it's gonna. If anything is gonna end up coming back to bite us in the butt, down it's gonna be that.
Yeah.
Our best receiver blew out his knee in the Dallas game. I hate to say it. Our best receiver on the field blew out his knee in that game. And you got to get these other two guys. That's why I'm still having hope, because these other two guys have shown in the past that they can get the job done. So I'm really just holding out my hope that if these two guys look at what this team is doing now and they realize, you know what, if we could be the final two missing pieces to put this team truly over the edge, and this is an opportunity for Golladay and Toney for redemption against the fan, to show the fans that these guys can still be effective players for this Giants team. And that's what makes me a little intrigued, is that these guys look at it right now and be like, well, this wide receiver core is one of the weaknesses of this team, and we're the guys that were the first-round pick and the $72 million guy. Let's get back on the field after the bye, and let's go out there and make plays for our team and help put our team over the top. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean,
blind faith, but I'm hoping, man.
No, I get it. I mean, I'm like that with Tony Golladay. It's I don't know. It's he's not a number one. He's just not. He's a complimentary. He's a complimentary piece, and for him, for his skill set, he just doesn't. For me, he just doesn't fit this offense. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, with what he's good at, which is the long ball down the sideline, going up and make the play, pretty much. He's not a great route runner. You have to scheme him open to really be. And as a number one, you want him to go out there and make a play. I mean, we got spoiled with Plaxico Burress back in the day, and that's what we're expecting.
And even Amani Toomer too. Toomer would used to do that too.
And
keep Nick at the sideline with a lot of guys.
That's not who Golladay is. He's just not. It's more of, he's just go over the top and get the ball and, maybe run some basic simple routes, but more of keeping him, scheming him open, as opposed to, him just going out there and making a play and just saying, throw the damn ball up and let me go get it. A la Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The Jets just suffered some injuries. Elijah Vera-Tucker is out with an elbow injury. He's questionable. And Corey Davis has got a knee injury. It looks like another Jet might be down right now.
And Seattle is starting to implode a little bit.
Yeah, they're up 17. What's 17-7 now?
17-7, and the Chargers just forced another turnover. So
yeah, there's another player down for the Jets. The Jets are starting to suffer some injuries right now too. This is for all the people that wanted to trade away Elijah Moore. You might need him now because the fact that Corey Davis is banged up. Injuries. Next man up. I'm gonna be watching that. I don't know. You guys feel I'm gonna be watching that injury report coming out tomorrow for Bellinger, for Neal, for Bredesen, all these guys.
It's gonna be big, man. But looking forward again, like a little bit. A lot of Giant fans, especially people, looking a little bit forward at the schedule, and talking about what we might be when we get to Thanksgiving. Once again this week we proved that it's one game at a time, man. We gotta take this thing one game at a time. You can't be looking too far ahead. Looking past, definitely can't look past anybody. This team, our roster is just not made up to be able to look past anyone.
No.
So every week you got to just take it with a
Oh,
grain
it's
of
Brees
salt.
Hall. Brees Hall just went into the blue tent. Oof.
Oh Lord.
Oh man, that's not
It
good for the
says
Jets.
the
Got Brees
Jets.
Hall going in fantasy today.
It
Yeah.
says the Jets have 80 yards of total offense, 82 yards, and Denver has 178. Wow. I thought they were killing it.
Oh, dropped it right over the middle. Barrios. Might need Elijah Moore now. I'd take Elijah Moore. Can we give up a pick for Elijah Moore? That's a joke, by the way. We're not doing that. We might have our own Elijah Moore if Tony could get on the field. And same thing with Wandell. How'd you guys think Wandell played today? And the wide receivers overall, besides Marcus Johnson.
Wandell was all right. I mean, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say he made a couple plays when his number was called. And nothing special. I mean, obviously nothing special. Obviously, but he's still a young player. He's only playing pretty much his second game in a sense. Because the first week when he did get out there, he was only in the game for a very short period of time before he got injured. So, I mean, he's still got a lot to learn, and he's it's coming together. You see playmaking ability in him now. So.
Slayton actually played pretty solid too. I mean, he almost bobbled that touchdown catch, but he had 3 catches, 58 yards, and a TD. So that's not bad.
Wandell had 8 targets. He was 6 receptions, 50 yards.
Yeah, Jones is targeting Wandell a lot.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Barkley had under the radar then.
Oh wow, Brees Hall is limping pretty bad. That's not good.
Marcus Johnson had 3 targets, but he had no catches.
How many did Richie James have?
I watched 2 of them bounce off, 2 of them right off his hands.
Yeah,
Richie James had 2 targets, 1 reception for 2 yards.
Oh shit, Brees Hall's getting carted off. Getting carted to the back. Oh man, that's not good.
Bad business there.
Yeah.
What is up with these New York teams and these injuries? Goodness gracious.
It just, you know what? It seemed like during the chat they were talking about teams all over the place. I mean, it just seemed like everyone was at one moment was getting hurt.
Yeah.
Who they said? Was it Davy Carr? They said. Oh no, he said he got blasted. That's what it was.
Even my brother, who's a Titans fan, is like ecstatic watching the Giants. He's like, my brother's texting me saying, "Oh, about like your coaches are friggin' wizards out there." You're damn right they are. You damn freaking right. Our coaches are like wizards the way they're coaching on this field. And jeez, I don't even know. I mean, is this a dream? Are we in a dream right now? The way this team is playing. I mean, I'm not used to this team playing.
I mean,
this
6-1 feels like a dream.
It
I'm
does.
gonna tell you that.
It really
6-1
does.
feels like a dream, but then you pinch yourself and realize it's absolute reality. The New York Giants are 6-1, man. Like it's just
what a great feeling. We deserve it too.
I've been watching a 4-13, enduring a 4-13 season a year ago, and it was an ugly 4-13. I mean, there is no pretty 4-13 anyway, but it was just a terrible, terrible year to watch New York Giant football last year, and just to see this team bounce back with this kind of resilience, it's amazing, man. What we're doing in the fourth quarter of football games, it's like if the game is even remotely close going into the fourth quarter, it's almost like slam dunk New York Giants is going to win this game, man.
Yeah.
They're just going to find a
5
way to
victories.
Get it done here.
5 comeback victories for Daniel Jones.
I mean,
He's
it's crazy. Every game this season, every one. All 7 of these football games the New York Giants have been in have been decided by one damn possession, man.
Yep.
Every single game.
That just shows right there the talent. The talent disparity is like the Giants aren't going to they're not going to outbeat you with these big plays and blow you out. They're going to have a lot of these games that are close. It's just when it comes down to the crunch time when we know how to run the football. We know we did know how to stop the run better before. We did a better job today, but we got exploited in the middle. But we know how to play great defense. We know how to get coached well. We know how to make adjustments. And we know how to win now. The Giants have finally learned one of the most difficult things to do in the NFL, and that's learning how to win. And the Giants are learning how to win, and they're learning how to win consistently. And any team that gives us opportunities, you know what we're going to do? We are going to make you pay, and we've done it every single week. Every week we've had these teams give us opportunities, and we just kick down that door, and we make you pay for it. Baltimore did it. Green Bay did it. Tennessee did it. Carolina did it. And now Jacksonville did it, and that's the reason why we got these 6 W's. So we're not going to blow you out. We're going to play close against you guys, but we know how to get the job done in the end. Period.
But that also means that the team is you can't rattle them. They don't crack under pressure. You can crack under pressure, but this team is not. This team is confident, and they just say we're going to get it to the fourth quarter, and then that's when we're going to step up and we're going to take it.
Like I said, I feel so good. I feel so good for Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Everybody that talked trash about these two guys. Everybody that trashed these two guys over the offseason. Everybody's saying get rid of them, trade them. They're trash. They shouldn't be here. Move on. You know what? It's validation for the two of them. Those are two guys I always keep thinking when we win. A validation for 8-26.
It's like you look at this New York Giants team all season so far. Sure, we haven't scored 30 points, and people can say what they want about that Giants offense, but guess what? Ain't nobody scored 25 so much as 25 points on us either. So it's like
exactly.
As long as we keep you in that range, that's our wheelhouse right there. We keep you around in that area. Hey, you let us hang around, and it's gonna go up and get you, man.
You keep us in the 20s. We'll keep you below the whatever 20 number we got. There you go.
Technically, the Giant. No, I'm just looking at stats. Let me see points for. There's a 20-point differential. We've scored 150, and we've given up 130. That tells you right there. The Eagles have given up 105. The Bills are 81. So we're right there in the middle of the pack. As long as we keep you there, yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to win.
And once again, we know how to win. We know how to finish teams off. When it gets to that fourth quarter, every single Giants fan's confidence just shoots right up because we just know when it gets to that crunch time, we're going to do whatever it needs to be done to win these games.
I mean, Daniel Jones is, I dare say, he's developing a bit of a clutch gene, man. Like he's getting it.
Eli Manning
when it matters most, man. And I mean, I feel like he played had a pretty strong performance the whole way today, anyway. But I mean, he gets it done in that fourth quarter, man. When it's all on the line, this kid is like ice water in his veins, man. He just goes out there and doesn't like you said, Coach. He doesn't get rattled. Just goes out there and just makes the plays, takes the plays, whatever the defense is giving him, and gets it done effectively, man. Very effectively.
Do you think this is going down the road of like a Phil Simms type thing? Because Simms was not that great in his first few years with the Giants. But then when he got to that fourth year, turned it on.
Phil Simms is my quarterback. He will always be my quarterback. You know, I became a Giants fan when they drafted him, and it was just something about him, his fiery mentality in '79. You know, he looked like he was 79. I was 12 years old, and he looked like he was about my age, maybe 15. But he was just fiery, and he was tough. He always got hurt, but he went out there, and you're right. I mean, could it develop into that? Hopefully, could it be developing between Phil Simms and Eli Manning, because he has Eli's temperament.
He does.
But you know, the fight, the drive, you know, the fighting through injuries, you know, because we never experienced that with Eli. That's one thing I have to say. Eli was always out there every game, but Phil, you know, he was out and he'd come back, but you know, you saw how important he was to the team when he was out. You know, except that one Super Bowl where Haas came in and won and took over for him. But every other time, so could he become that? Let's hope so.
It's a correlation, though. This is when these quarterbacks in the Giants' history start stepping up. Is that third or fourth year? Happened with Phil Simms. Happened with Eli Manning.
True.
It's starting to happen with Daniel Jones too. That third or fourth year is when they get the right coaching, they get the right scheming. They play around. They get the most out of these quarterbacks. Maybe Daniel Jones is finally starting to be able to develop into the type of player we think he's going to be. That's fine.
Yeah, what's going on, AK man? It's really good to see you, my brother, man. Hope
AK,
everything
what's up,
is
bro?
going well with you, man. It's good to see you in here. Thanks for stopping in, bro.
Brees
But
Hall
yeah,
will
we
not
6-1
return with a
too,
knee
bro.
injury.
We six
Yep.
and one by the way, AK. You see that coming, man?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that coming? Because I know I didn't see it coming, but
Look,
we in there, bro. We sniffing on y'all heels, even though
We are.
y'all might be getting it done a little more impressive. Might look a little more impressive, you know what I mean? But the record is what the record is, and we right behind y'all, man. Y'all the only team in the league with a better record than us right now. And that's the way it's gonna still be going into week 8, man. No matter what, nothing can change that.
And Mac, what about this division right now? You got the Eagles that are 6-0, Giants are 6-1, Dallas won, they're 5-2, and Washington even won today. I mean, this division is really good. This NFC East division
It's
is
the best
really,
division
really
in
good.
football again,
Really
man.
good.
We're back
Mhm.
on taking its rightful place back on the throne, man. The NFC East is the best division overall in football, regardless, just through the history of football. But now, after some down years, it's reclaiming its spot as just the top division in football right now, man. The NFC East is getting it done. Can't nobody make jokes about the NFC. Ain't no more of them NFC least jokes right now popping
No,
off because
throw that
they
stuff
can't
out.
be. You got three teams in the top 10 in the power rankings. You got Washington that's on a now 2-game win streak, man. So
exactly. Yeah, Washington is 2 games behind the Cowboys, 3-4 and 5-2. I mean, you're making a great point. I mean, the total win totals is 12, 15, 17, 20 wins out of in the whole league, and only 7 losses. 20-7. That's the whole division.
it's so impressive, man. Yeah, the
Exactly.
NFC.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying the NFC East, man. It's back, and I love seeing. I remember it was a time when my guy Mike Wilbon used to call this the best division in all of sports, not even just football, all of sports, and
Hmm.
it's getting that reputation back, man. So
I
it's
mean,
good to
look,
Easily.
see.
the
I love it.
NFC South three Buccaneers and the Falcons lead the division at 3-4 apiece.
That division is
That
completely
division is
I
underwhelming.
mean,
atrocious.
even the NFC
Speaking of
West.
the,
Go ahead, man.
I was like, speaking of the Bucks too. What's going on with that football team down there? They
It's
are
Tom Brady
falling
getting affected
apart,
by
man.
that divorce stuff that's going on. You got to keep the lady happy, Tom. You got to keep her happy. Look
Oh
what's happening,
man.
Look,
Tom.
I feel bad for Todd. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I do feel bad for Bowles.
it just seems like wow, he just got the crap dumped on him basically. When Arian says, "Oh, I'm giving walking away," and I wasn't expecting this. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting the Buccaneers to be like this, but
No, me neither.
it's it's
Yeah, that's not a
it's.
good
I mean,
look. Getting
West.
trashed by Carolina.
The West isn't even that good. They're 3-3, 3-3, 3-3, and then Cardinals 3-4.
Yeah, the
So
Rams have underwhelmed a lot this year, and San Francisco hasn't been awesome either. It's really the
yeah.
NFC East.
Yeah.
That. What about the North? How's the North looking?
Minnesota is 5-1, but the Packers are 3-4. The Bears are 2-4, and they play tomorrow. And the Lions are 1-5.
See, there you go.
There you have it.
There you go. Besides the Minnesota Vikings, the only teams that are over 500 are the NFC East teams: the Giants, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. What a mediocre conference. I mean, this conference sucks. And why can't we win it all? Why can't we go far now in the
Well, I
playoffs?
said we get
Why
there.
can't we?
All you gotta do is get there, man. Got to get there first. But if we do, man, we got a puncher's chance like
The
anybody else.
closest one to us is the AFC East Conference. The Bills are 5-1. The Jets are 4-2. The Dolphins and the Patriots are 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely
That's
respectable.
it's respectable. But everyone else, let me see. The AFC North, the Ravens 4-3, the Bengals 4-3, the Steelers 2-4, the Browns 2-5. AFC South, Titans 4-2, Colts 3-3-1, Titans 1-3-1,
God.
Jaguars 2-5. In the AFC West, Chiefs and the Chargers are 4-2. Broncos are 2-4, and the Raiders are 1-4. So
That's a stellar division.
it comes back to we all thought at the beginning of the year the the AFC West was going to be a dominant division, and maybe the NFC West would have been second. But look at it; it's the NFC East and the AFC East.
The East is
What do you
back.
know?
Both East.
What do you
Oh,
know?
love it.
Exactly. So I mean, as long as our Giants keep doing what we're doing, Seattle's going to be a big test. I wish I could see that game right now, but gotta
Just
wait.
keep seeing a little bit clips of it on the red zone when they
It's
go flash to it on the red zone.
it's going to come down to the division. That's where this division is going to be won or lost because every one of those teams just continue to just keep winning, and the only teams that they're losing to right now are divisional rivals. That's it.
Mhm.
Besides
Chargers are-
Washington, go ahead, Mac.
I was gonna say the Chargers appear to take over momentum in that game though. Got the ball back again. They still down 17-14, but they got the ball back again, and they, like I said, taking over the momentum in that game. So we'll see what happens.
It's got to be the that DK Metcalf injury might have just taken away a lot of the momentum out of that game. That might have just like sunk the Seattle Seahawks. Like just when you lose a player of that yeah, Almighty just put it in the chat. Yeah. That's a killer injury for your team. And there was a lot of guys that got hurt. Jamar Chase got banged up in this game too. Brees Hall's now hurt. A lot of guys are getting hurt right now in this league. A lot. And this normally happens towards the middle of the 5th, 6th, 7th week is when you see a lot of prime players start going down with injuries, and it sucks. But the good teams and the good coaching are able to rise above those injuries that happen on the field. So let's see what's going to happen. But
The cream always rise to the top, man. We'll see. Like you said, we'll see.
Right,
Coaching.
About that depth and what you can get out of that depth, man, that you got. And
Absolutely.
Unfortunately for the New York Giants, we're getting a lot out of our depth, man. We're getting a lot out of some depth players, guys that feel like wouldn't even have made other NFL rosters. You know what I mean?
You know
We're
what? That's
stuff out of
that's Joe Shane. That's scouting, and then of course the coaches take them and coach them up. But that's Joe Shane.
I mean, Shane, what more can we say about this guy? What he's done? What more can we say about Joe Shane, too? I mean, this hire of Joe Shane and Brian Daboll with the coaches they brought in.
changer.
I mean, geez, it's a franchise changer. It's not just a game changer; it's a franchise changer. What these guys are doing and the type of culture I hate. We all hate the word culture, but what these guys are doing right now for this franchise is absolutely remarkable. They turned a team around that had no business talent-wise to be in the position they're in right now, and they've turned this team into a winning organization, a winning franchise right now, a winning team that is looking like the best team or one of the best teams, not only in the NFC, but in the NFL. That's a kudos to Joe Shane, to Brian Daboll, to Wink Martindale, Thomas McGahee, Mike Kafka, and the entire coaching staff and the entire front office.
At the end of the day, it's due, obviously due to the fact that the Buffalo Bills and Minnesota Vikings are on a bye this week, but the New York Giants are going to have the second best record in the league going into week 8.
Yep.
Point blank, the second best record in the league.
And there's Logan telling him, "You damn right with the New York Football Giants, Logan. You damn right with the New York Football Giants."
What's going on, Logan? That's right. Damn right we are, man.
Yep.
6-1.
Resilient bunch.
6-1. It doesn't matter how we got there. We are 6-1. Point blank.
Win is a win.
That's all that matters.
I wonder what's the almighty SAS going to say? It's probably going to still kill us.
Oh, look at this. I got a quote right here. This is from Dan Dugan. The fact that Daboll and the players were so upset about not closing out the game the way they did in a better fashion shows the signs of growth. It's pretty clear the Giants are tired of being viewed as an underdog story. They're expecting to win all these games. I love that. That made me smile so much because that's exactly how us fans feel, that this feels like a game that they should have won a little bit more convincingly, and the team is pissed off the fact that they're tired of feeling like an underdog. They're tired of feeling like, they can't go out there and be able to do what good teams do. And the fact that they didn't close out that game to a better way than they did. I love that. That makes me feel the best out of everything that happened is the fact this team is pissed off because they did not close that game out better, even after winning. That's the type of mindset you want from your coaching staff, from your team, from your organization. That we can do
Facts.
better, even when we're winning. I love it. Love
Exactly.
That's a
it.
sign of maturity, man. That's a sign of maturity and growth, man. Like, not nothing. You're not gonna be complacent. You're not accept 6-1 New York Giants. It should be real easy for this team to be complacent right now, and they still out there hungry, man, and know and keeping their eye on the prize, man. So it's just exciting to see, man. I'm glad to be able to be a part of this, man, and just and being able to enjoy what I'm seeing from this New York Giant team, and just know that it's going to get even better with
When we start getting
another
our
off season,
players.
another off season or two, and it's going to just we might be able to turn this into something really really special here in New York for a long time, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm ready for it. I'm ready to go on that ride.
Because Mac,
Exactly.
it looks like we have the front office, we have the general manager, looks like we have our head coach, and who knows, we might even have our quarterback.
We
Because I'm
might.
saying right now, if he keeps playing this way, Daniel Jones is the franchise quarterback, and I don't want to hear a goddamn other word about it. I don't care if you don't like him. Daniel Jones is the franchise quarterback right now, the way he's playing. Period. He's playing winning football. So you get the head coach, the GM, and the quarterback. Ooh, you're going to be in for a lot of success because you could just build around with the rest of that team, and then there you
Hmm.
go. You get those three components settled. That's what helps in building a winning franchise is when you get everything. And then we also one thing that we did too, the first time in years, we had a perfect alignment with our head coach and our GM. We did not have a GM there that was there too long, and we hired a head coach at a certain other time where everything was off balance
Yeah.
in terms of the alignment. For the first time, we got our alignment balanced as paying dividends because these guys know what the hell
Hmm.
they're doing.
Hmm.
Brandon Brown too.
Hmm.
I'm going to give credit to Brandon Brown as well. He's done an excellent job as an assistant GM, and I'm telling you, a lot of teams in the offseason are going to try to poach us for our coaching staff and our
Hmm.
front office because of the
Hmm.
success we're having right now. They're going to look to
Hmm.
poach the Giants.
Exactly. And
Right.
I'm going to worry about it then, but that is kind of concerning because we all know who's the first one everyone's going to look at first,
Yeah,
and
Wink.
it's going to be Wink. With
Mm-hmm.
what he's doing with our
Yeah.
defense and everything, but hopefully, the Mariners will do something to entice him to stay. But I mean, I also understand if you want to go get your own team. So.
I mean, you can't knock a guy for you know taking on an opportunity, getting an opportunity like that. You know what I mean? It's hard to turn that down. So I got a feeling Wink is going to be a hot commodity coming this off season
Hmm.
if things stay the way
Injury
they've been
updates here,
going.
guys. Giants are optimistic right now that they avoided serious injuries with Ben Bredesen and Evan Neal, that they avoided the ACL tears. So it's good news in regards on the injury front for the Giants offensive line. So looks like they might have
Yeah.
avoided. We have to wait until they have to wait until the MRIs come out, but it looks like the Giants once again escaped injuries, and that's another thing. We're escaping serious injuries with this team.
Well,
Shepard's really
if
the
that's
only
the
one.
case, if that is the case, man, then at least we got a situation where maybe if even these guys got to sit next week, we're also going to be going into a bye following that,
Hmm.
so that give them
Hmm.
that couple extra weeks to
Mm,
get things back together, get things in order. So,
Yeah, and Seattle's going to be tough. We all know that.
oh
So,
yeah, absolutely.
they just
yeah.
said ACL tear, so it could be another tear of another ligament. So I'm not gonna get too excited yet, but who knows? I mean, it could just be like a knee sprain, an MCL sprain, or something like that, which would keep them out multiple weeks. But at least it sounds like it's not season ending. And what Kayvon Thibodeau says when Kayvon Thibodeau was asked about people noticing the 6-1 start for the New York Giants, he said, "I don't care what people around the league do. Fuck them. Only people that matter are the people in this locker room." God damn, I love Kayvon
That's right.
Thibodeau.
Hmm.
Damn right, Kayvon.
Hmm. Hmm. That's
Absolutely
it.
right, bro.
The
That's
Giants
right.
aren't blowing teams out, but they sure as hell know how to close out and win football games, and
Yep.
that's
And
the
and
biggest testament ever.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Because that's what that really does is that a blowout makes you relax. It doesn't help you always stay on your toes and fight. Games like these, they do because realistically, to be honest with you, all right, I'm going to say it. I know I shouldn't. As a coach, I never am supposed to look that far ahead, but this is preparing us for the playoffs.
Yep.
This is
It is.
preparing us for the playoffs because when you get into the playoffs, you don't have blowouts. Almost every game is a tight fight, and it comes down to the last minute. How do you step up and handle it? How do you step up and make a play for your team, or how do you stop the opposing team? This team will be ready for it. We will be battle tested. Sorry, I know
absolutely.
people don't want to hear me say it. I'm even one that's, I don't want to say superstitious, but it's like, look, just focus on the now, just stay in the now, and I will. But, that also tells me, you know what, we're getting ready for the playoffs. We're getting battle
Yeah.
tested.
And the breaks are going our way too, because everything that used to go against us for a past decade, injury diagnosis when they happen, bounces going our way, everything. And let's just be real. If this was last year, Evan Neal, Ben Bredesen, these guys will all be out for the season. Even that's starting to turn our way, where we're starting to get diagnoses, they're coming out positive for us. So it looks like it's just something special is happening right now with the Giants. I don't know what it is, but something is special happening with this franchise right now, with just everything that's happening. And we are just enjoying the ride right now as fans. I mean, this is nothing we ever expected. And we
It's that
just got to
winning
enjoy
aura,
it.
man. It's that winning aura right now surround us, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's real, man. We got it. We got it going on. Like I said, it's just confidence in themselves, man. Just the ability to just get it done and make plays. Like I said, when it matters most. Just like I said, the way this Saquon Barkley was, the way they were bottling him up, and they just still had the confidence to keep going to him, and knowing that this is Saquon Barkley and he is going to start making plays and right on cue. Like I said, that one drive, it was just he just pounded the ball right down their throat, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a situation where they knew he was getting the ball, and he still just pounded it right down their throat, man. That's championship stuff there, man. That's absolute championship stuff right there.
Daniel Bellinger will be traveling back with the team, and he will visit an ophthalmologist in New York on Monday for further evaluation. So that's the update on Daniel Bellinger.
That's fairly good to know too. At least that whatever they got him checked out, and he's still at least able to travel back with the team, and a little bit of encouragement. Just hopefully, like I said, nothing too serious. You're talking about the young man's eyes. That's important. He needs to be able to see, obviously.
Yeah,
So,
it's positive news, man. But I'm gonna hop off in a little bit because I'm starving and I got another stream to do in like a couple of hours, so I
we
want
can
to
get
get
ready
some
to
of my
wrap it up,
belly.
man. We can definitely get ready to wrap this one up, man. I appreciate you guys, man, coming on. What's going on, Blue City?
Yeah,
Appreciate you
we
guys
also
coming on.
we were screaming about it when Jones got pissed when Marcus Johnson didn't catch the ball. We all were pissed about that.
Here's one
But
last
Yeah.
here's one last stat I want to give you guys. Saquon Barkley is number 2 in total rush yards. Daniel Jones is number 25 in the
Oh
league.
wow.
yep,
Wow.
And it looks like he's the second quarterback because Lamar Jackson is at 4. Everyone else is Ramondre Stevens a running back? No, he's a
like
running back.
Lamar Jackson is fourth in the league
Yeah.
rushing.
Lamar Jackson has 510 yards total,
Holy crap!
66 cents, but he only has 2 touchdowns. And Jones has 3 touchdowns rushing.
Okay,
So it's
is that including
343
today
to
or
50.
no?
I don't know if it includes today. Let me just double check. Let me see. It's not giving me game totals. Oh, wait a minute. That's info. Stats. Yes, it is. It's including today.
Okay.
Okay.
How many rushing yards does DJ have on the season?
343.
Holy crap! Huh. Who's the high? I'm just curious. Who's the highest receiver right now on the team in terms of receiving yards? I'm just absolutely curious about that. Like, who's leading our team in receiving yards?
Probably still Richie James, probably.
Imagine it's still Sterling Shepard.
I'm gonna tell you in 1 second. Hold on.
Nah, that's probably Richie James still.
Probably
That's
be
true.
Richie James. That's what I was thinking too. Come on,
Yeah.
open up stats.
Yeah, it's Richie James.
How much does
He
he
got
got?
100, only
191.
189 or 91.
Are you
Or,
serious?
Yeah, 91.
191 yards in 7 weeks. Yeesh. But you know what? It's okay because we got 2 guys that are rushing the ball for a total of over 1,000 yards between Barkley and Jones. Barkley's got almost 800 yards rushing, doesn't he?
726.
That's
And he's 14 yards behind Nick Chubb.
That is crazy. I mean,
And
geez.
think about it. Like you said, in the beginning of the game, Jacksonville did everything to bottle him, to take him away. And Daniel Jones took advantage of it and it forced them to ease off. And guess what? He started
Yep.
picking up his yards late in the game like he always does.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that also says that our offensive line is wearing teams down come by the fourth quarter. So
Absolutely.
let's hope it keeps up next week. So
Oh, no
It's
doubt
gonna be a
about it.
big
Let's just
test
keep it
out there.
going.
That Seattle's bringing that 12th man back with him, man, out there with
Mhm.
him. So definitely gonna be a test out there in Seattle, man. And not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous about that one next week. It's gonna be definitely a tough game. Seattle's a lot better than anybody expected them to be going into this season. Geno Smith is having an amazing year, so a career year for him. So let's get this team prepared. Hope these injuries aren't too bad, and we can get a couple of these guys back in the lineup. If not, next man up, like you said, and we'll just go in there and do what we've been doing, and hopefully get the job done next week as well. But
And ironically too, our last week is like after that game next Sunday is the trade deadline. So it's like we're gonna have a couple of days for all the fans to get all crazy and nuts about it while we head into our bye. Is our trade the trade deadline happens a couple of days later, and so
But we got another week we can enjoy it. We got another Victory Monday coming up tomorrow, and let's just enjoy another victory week for the New York Giants. 6-1, New York football Giants. I want to thank Jeff and Ed for Coach Ed for coming on with me today for the True Blue Aftermath. And don't forget on Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to tune in right here on Mac the Giants Fans Channel, Hardcore Sports Network, Adam Costas' channel with me and my guy, Adam Costas, as we bring y'all the real deal NFC East Roundup. Peace. I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants Fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants Fan. That's MACDA Giants Fan.